Happy Wednesday, everybody. We're a little later than normal, but we had to adjust. You had a trip
Busy
to the
schedules.
lakeshore. And
Yep. Nice listing in Holland. I'm really excited about.
Yep, some good family friends. Should be a nice house.
Yeah,
So.
very nice house. Can't wait to get that on the market later this week. Pictures tomorrow, so we're ready to go.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Having a good week?
Great week.
Great.
Yep.
Busy
Closing
week.
this morning, and yep. So
Closings are always good.
closings are good.
We all like to eat.
Yes, we do.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. We're always excited to be here. Cathy Hoppo and my
Boomer Hoppo.
Boomer. We do have a question from one of our audience members, which we love, so keep sending those in. And we kind of thought this would be our only topic today because I think Boomer could talk for hours on it, but he's not going to.
No.
But so our question from our friend Janet, my daughter's thinking of buying a house. What's the difference between down payment and closing cost?
Yeah.
That's very confusing to
Yep,
people.
it's confusing. Cash to close, when you get that final number, whether it's from the title company, from us, there's a lot of components in there. And down payment, closing costs, prepaids, those things are all subcomponents of your cash to close needs. So your down payment is typically a percentage of the purchase price that you put in as a good faith that you are going to bring in some equity into the deal. Skin in the game, we call it.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
The more the better, but there is a common misconception that you need 20%.
Right, and you don't. There's so many great programs out there.
There's programs that offer 0% down. There's a lot of first-time home buyer programs that will allow you to come in with 3% down. I prefer those over what a lot of people think as the low down payment option, FHA, which is 3.5%. So we're actually working with someone that's FHA approved, and they weren't able to get the conventional through their existing lender. So I think we're going to be able to save them some more cash.
Oh, awesome.
Which they can then apply to closing costs. Closing costs are going to be, title insurance, processing fee, underwriting fee, depending on your lender. Those vary. Independents are very, very low compared to other lenders out there. Some of your online lenders, I'm not going to name names, are notorious for having high costs. Somebody's got to pay for the advertisements and commercials that you see on TV. So
well, and also I think they're paying for the risk, right? Because
Possibly.
I see a lot of those online prequals come through, and once you do a little checking, you know that those people really aren't ready to buy a house yet, right?
a lot of the time.
A lot of times. So I think there's a risk factor there too for those
Yep.
type lenders.
Yep, they're trying to make
Yep.
up for it. And but closing costs, think of like title, appraisal, those are things that get sent off to the third party providers. Again, the title companies, the appraisers. But yeah, it's many different components to cash to close, but the down payment, you don't need the 20%.
Okay, so I know the question will be, okay, so I've got my 3% down, right? The closing costs are on top of that?
Yes.
Right, they are.
So you've got the down payment, whatever you're bringing in from an equity standpoint, the skin in the game. You've got your closing costs, and then your prepaids, prepaid insurance. You're going to have to prepay that.
Right.
So your insurance company is not going to allow you to get into the house, and nor are we, without paying that premium.
Prepaid taxes.
Prepaid taxes, depending on where in the year we are, what you negotiate from a proration of taxes in your offers, that's all negotiable. There's some customary things that, depending on the region that we're in, those are some customary type things that experienced agents can help guide the client through.
Right, and that's what I was just going to bring up. Make sure you're always working with an experienced agent, because there's a lot of tactics that we use to make it where sometimes they don't even have to bring closing costs, right?
Yep, very good.
So
point.
make sure you're always working with a great agent. We won't name any names, but it's really important, because just the way an agent writes a purchase agreement can make a huge difference in cash to close.
Yep. So the relationships that your buyer's agent has with the listing agent, if you've had a great experience, there are things that can be done where you might not have the best offer, that's written from a dollar standpoint,
Right.
but your relationship with the other party involved can make things happen that otherwise can't. The experience that you've had in the past is maybe a prediction of what
Yes.
is to come.
Yep.
If you've been a stand-up person in the past, that agent on the other side of the deal is more likely to want to work with you. That's a huge
That's why your
value.
reputation is so important.
Yep, that's a huge value add of working with an experienced agent with a great reputation, because you as a client might not have the highest value offer, but the deal can still get done because of the agent behind the deal. So,
Gail and I were just talking about this in the car. I just had that where we had multiple offers on a house. I had had a bad experience with one of the agents, and I had had a good experience with the lower offer.
Yep.
And we were able to negotiate enough that we got that offer accepted.
Yep.
Then we just had an issue with the appraisal, where the appraisal came in just a couple thousand low, but when it's a tight deal, that can hurt.
absolutely.
But that agent was so great to deal with, so were his buyers.
Yep.
And we were able to come to a great compromise. Everybody's going to walk away extremely happy, but it's because we had agents that knew how to work together. And, the end goal is always to have happy buyers, happy sellers sitting at that table. And I know you feel the same way
Absolutely.
about that.
Yep.
So, there's nothing better than happy people at the closing table.
Absolutely. Yep. And, the transition, moving out,
It
that's
all
so much smoother of a process when there's not that
agitation. Yes.
So,
yes.
because at some point you're going to want them to move out on time.
You'd like them to move out. Yeah, that's always a good thing when they move out on time.
So leave it, maybe vacuumed instead of just stuff everywhere.
Yes.
So one more thing I wanted to talk to about closing costs, down payment. There are programs that can offer down payment assistance where you can also apply some of that money towards closing costs to help offset any of that cash to close need.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
plenty of programs out there. Independent has a phenomenal program. There's 2 qualifying criteria. It's called My Home Rewards. It's an
I love
in-house
that
program. We will literally pay for appraisal, underwriting fee, processing fee. It can save you thousands of dollars if you meet the 2 criteria.
We've used that a lot.
Yep. So it's a great thing when the client finds out that, hey, I had some money set aside for closing costs, but now I can dump that into my down payment and build equity.
We just had that on one we did last week. Yep. And she was thrilled. Yeah.
So save people thousands of dollars, build equity.
Yep. Faster. Yep.
And that's, to me, we talked about this a few weeks ago. Home ownership is the first path to wealth. You systematically save money every month. You're building equity by making your payment.
Right.
No different than a 401k or 403b, plus you get to live in it. So it's the best place.
Yep.
Best place parking money.
Awesome information.
Yep.
Awesome.
Home ownership.
Home ownership. We're all about it.
That's right.
If you want to buy a house, call me, Cathy Hoppo, 616-915-2890, and our favorite lender,
Boomer Hoppo, Independent Bank, 616-902-0796.
Thanks for tuning in.
See you next week.
Bye.